If consciousness creates reality, then why does life feel so hard to change? Why do the same patterns keep repeating? Why do people keep ending up in the same relationships, the same fears, the same emotional cycles, even when they genuinely want something different? People hear Neville Goddard say, "Assume the wish fulfilled." And what happens when you're anxious? What happens when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, heartbroken, financially pressured, or just completely stuck? Because in these moments, changing your assumptions doesn't feel simple at all. And I think this is where a lot of people misunderstand Neville. He wasn't teaching surface level positive thinking. He was teaching that human beings live from psychological states, and that most people are so identified with their state, they mistake it for reality itself. Maybe your life isn't repeating because reality is fixed. Maybe it's repeating because you keep returning to the same version of yourself. Neville Goddard taught that we are always occupying states of consciousness, and after enough time, a state no longer feels like an assumption. It feels like, this is just who I am. This is just how life works. This always happens to me. And that's where people get trapped, not by circumstances, but by a self-concept they've forgotten they're wearing. Most people assume they struggle because they don't want things badly enough, or aren't trying hard enough. Neville Goddard taught that that's not the real problem. The real reason we struggle is that we're operating from unconscious states, habitual inner patterns that have become so familiar they've faded into the background of everything we do and feel. A state isn't just a thought, it's a recurring inner conversation, a repeated emotional posture, an assumption about yourself and the world that, after enough repetition, stops feeling like something you chose and starts feeling like just the way things are. Think about what you return to. Nothing ever works out for me. People always leave. People always let me down. I'm behind in life. I have to struggle for everything. These aren't passing thoughts. These are identities, states people live from, not states they observe. And until that's seen clearly, all the positive thinking in the world won't shift the outer world, because the inner identity hasn't moved. Neville's central teaching was this: consciousness is the cause, the outer world is the effect, and what shapes consciousness day to day is the state you inhabit. A state is a habitual way of seeing yourself, a repeated emotional pattern, a self-concept you act from without realizing it, one that colours every reaction, every interpretation, every expectation you bring to life. Some states people unconsciously occupy: the rejected one, the overlooked one, the one who always struggles, the lucky one, the loved one, the one who belongs. Notice how different life looks from each of these positions. The circumstances might be similar, but the state you're in determines what you notice, what you expect, and how you respond. Neville explained why life so often feels like it's on repeat, not because of fate, but because we're unconsciously rehearsing the same inner identity every single day. The mind returns to what's familiar, the same fears, the same emotional reactions, the same assumptions about what's possible for you. And because consciousness shapes experience, the outer world keeps reflecting the same thing back. Here's the cycle as it actually runs. Fear makes you withdraw. Withdrawal affects your relationships. Those relationships confirm your fear of abandonment. The state deepens. It isn't punishment. It isn't bad luck. It's conditioning running on autopilot. Most people aren't consciously creating their lives. They're unconsciously continuing them. Neville's principles are simple in theory. Living them is not always simple. When you're stressed, grieving, financially pressured, or emotionally depleted, your nervous system is already locked into a survival posture, and that posture has its own momentum. The reason it feels hard to assume differently is because your body, your emotions, your memories, and even your environment are all reinforcing the old state at the same time. It's not one voice to change, it's a whole chorus. People try affirmations while internally panicking. They visualize while emotionally scanning for confirmation that nothing has changed. They say the words while the feeling underneath stays untouched. Neville was direct about this. You cannot force your way into a new state while emotionally worshipping the old one. That's not failure. That's just what happens when we try to change the surface without addressing the foundation. The shift begins when you recognize something that sounds simple but changes everything. You are not the state you occupy. You are the awareness experiencing it. A state can feel utterly permanent, woven into who you are, but it isn't. The moment you can observe it without being consumed by it, you've already created distance from it. You've stepped above it. Awareness means noticing the loops you've been running, the inner conversations, the emotional patterns, the assumptions you've been accepting as facts. You don't force anything to change. You simply stop reinforcing the old identity with unconscious attention, and that alone begins to loosen it. From that awareness, the actual inner work becomes possible. Interrupting the habitual inner dialogue, imagining from the new state rather than toward it, letting the new self-concept settle through repetition and feeling, persisting even when circumstances haven't yet caught up. Neville gave specific tools, not for forcing change, but for shifting what you're consistently living from at the level of imagination and self-concept. The inner work, inner conversations. Redirect the dialogue you keep having with yourself. Imagination. Inhabit the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not as a performance, but as a lived inner experience. Self-concept. Genuinely see yourself as the person who already belongs in the new state. Revision. Return to painful memories in imagination and rewrite them. Let the revision become your new emotional record. Refusing old loops. Consciously declining to replay the identity that created the old patterns. Neville put it plainly. You don't change your life first. You stop identifying with a version of yourself that made the old patterns feel inevitable. That's not denial. It's refusing to let a temporary state write the final definition of who you are. Maybe your life isn't fixed. Maybe you've been living from a particular state for so long that it started to feel like you. The rejected one, the struggling one, the anxious one. These aren't your identity. They are states you've rehearsed until they became automatic. Transformation in Neville's framework begins with the willingness to see the state for what it is, not the truth about you, but a pattern you've been running. Observe it, interrupt it, imagine past it, and persist in the inner life that reflects where you're actually going. Perhaps the real work isn't becoming someone entirely new. It's becoming conscious of who you've been without realizing it, and choosing differently from there. Neville's message was never that life changes overnight. It was that the outer world eventually mirrors the inner self you consistently return to. The hardest part isn't changing your circumstances. The hardest part is no longer calling the old version of yourself me. You are not trapped in the state you currently occupy, but you do have to see it clearly before you can leave it.